One by one she counts the beat in the shadows where secrets meet. Whispers crawl under the floor. She's the storm you can't ignore. 1, 2, 3, there's coming for you. 3, 4, better shut the door. 5, 6, you better get a crucifix. 7, 8, no one can escape. Midnight strikes, the clock won't lie. Her reflection steals the sky. Breathless echoes start to hum. Chills that say you can't outrun. 1, 2, 3, there's coming for you. 3, 4, better shut the door. 5, 6, you better get a crucifix. 7, 8, no one can escape. Run, but your footsteps fall too loud. Her shadow's dancing in the crowd. She knows your name, she knows your fear. Turn around, she's standing near.
Okay. Y'all, there's an Amber Alert out of Clarksville, Tennessee. A 3-year-old little boy named Tyler Hall, last seen in Clarksville, Tennessee. TBI. Contact TBI with any information. We'll list it one more time.
A TBI find or contact Clarksville police. I was hurt in a drunk driving accident. The insurance company didn't take my case seriously.
But we took it seriously. At NST, we make sure your case isn't left up to the insurance company.
They got me $500,000.
Insurance companies often push for a quick, low settlement. We push back hard, standing up to the insurance.
You know what? That's not in here yet. What time is it? Do I have time? I don't know. Yeah, I probably should have time. Alrighty. This sweet baby is missing out of Clarksville, Tennessee. Amber Alert issued for a 3-year-old missing out of Clarksville, Tennessee. Extensive search continues. Clarksville, Tennessee. This is what the little guy looks like. I mean, can I go through all the photos? It was last updated at 5 p.m. Clarksville, Tennessee Bureau of Investigations has an Amber Alert for a missing 3-year-old boy who was last seen Tuesday morning in Clarksville neighborhood. Be on the lookout. Has been issued for Tyler Hall. He was last seen Tuesday in the my laptop's messing up, guys. Anyway, he was seen in Tennessee. He's blonde hair, weighs 40 pounds. He's blonde hair, blue eyed. He was last seen wearing a green dinosaur t-shirt. And I'm a moron because I clicked on something else. But yeah, we have a missing child. Just let everybody know in Tennessee to be on the lookout for while we're waiting on Mr. Ed. Hello, Chris. Hello, Far. Ed is telling me your devices are not connected. Let's see here. Let's see if it's going to work.
Are you talking about me, D?
No, never.
I heard you say something about Ed just as I was clicking in here.
Yeah, it said that your devices were not connected, and I was like, Ed, your devices are not connected.
It just depends what device you're talking about.
Oh. So
What's
I
going
see.
on, D? I know we're supposed to talk true crime. I mean, it's your show. I want to hear about the fire department. That's why I'm here tonight. I want to hear about the fire department.
Oh, so I went to the fish fry on Saturday to help out. I always help out.
Okay.
You know, the fish fry, the rodeo, I'm always there helping.
Good for you, D. Good.
And helping the guy, you know, the fire guys out.
What kind of fish?
We had fried catfish, beans, coleslaw.
Boy, you must live in Oklahoma.
You wouldn't say. Beans, coleslaw. What else did we have? Hush puppies, cornbread casserole.
Love all of it.
It's all fattening.
Not that I'm saying I wish that I lived in Oklahoma, but I love all that. I love me some hush puppies.
They were pretty good. I have to say they were pretty good.
Ugh, so good.
So
All right.
I made friends with one of the firemen's wives, and she's like, I'm fixing to rejoin. And this fireman is, second in command. He's not the chief, but he's, if chief can't be there, he's active chief.
All right, like the vice chief.
Yeah, assistant chief, whatever you want to call it. It's his wife. Anyway, she's like, I'm going to rejoin. I was like, no, you won't. Because she had told me this back in March that she was going to rejoin. So I was like, no, you aren't. Kind of joking around with her. So I was like, she goes, well, come to the meeting Monday. You don't think I'm going to rejoin? So I showed up Monday. I wasn't expecting her to drag me upstairs to fill out the application. As well.
Like you got suckered into joining a cult, dude.
Yeah, it kind of feels that way. Someone
told me we were going to yoga, and all of a sudden now I'm in some Buddha cult.
I'm in some weird.
I was just accompanying this friend of mine. All of a sudden I have to wear weird clothes and shave my head.
Yes. But wow. I've been talking about it. Hey, Far, how are you, sweetie? Hey, Chris. I've been talking about it for over 2 years now, joining, because I was asked 2 years ago to join the women's part of it.
Okay.
And I just kind of, I ain't got time for this.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Because the women's part of it, I know it sounds crazy. We wear pink hats. The firemen wear yellow hats. We hand out water. We're at all the events. We do all the, fundraisers. We are the ones who, put the fundraisers together, stuff like that.
Okay.
But yes, I joined the fire department.
But isn't your man in the fire department too?
Yes.
All right. Well, that's convenient then. So what was it? He couldn't convince you to get into the fire department, but this female friend of yours could?
Honestly. I always have an excuse when it comes to Monday nights. I can't miss Mondays. Mondays is Ed's night.
That's true. Mondays is the Ed's night. That's
just like whenever I went to work, whenever it was Wednesday, every job I ever had, I told them I cannot work Wednesdays.
So am I not going to be seeing you on Mondays from now on then?
Once a month, I will be at a fire meeting, but it's just once a month.
Okay, I'll try to get over it.
I know.
I'll try to get over it. So you, the women, do they actually go to the fires and stuff?
Yes, we wind up, we go get the guys, like they have water and stuff. We hand out their water to them. If it's a big fire, we hand out water to the firemen. Okay. If they need food, we go grab food, whatever.
I mean, I'm not being sexist. I have nothing wrong. I have no problem with women fighting fires and putting on the heavy equipment. And of course, there's a very famous disappearance here in Florida of a woman who was a firefighter. I have nothing against that, but that's not what we're talking about here.
Well, part of the reason why I did it is I want to take the search and rescue classes.
Okay.
And this is one way of getting the search and rescue classes done for free.
Okay.
Versus, paying out of pocket.
Okay.
And then I looked at Michael and told him that I want to go and finish my psych degree.
Wow. So, you're going for it.
Yes, Chris, I'm the support team. We stand back and just clap at them. You're doing a great job.
Yeah, I have to admit, I wouldn't want to be going to the fires. I'd only want to be part of the support team too. I'm not wearing the pink hat though. Wow. All right, D. That is fantastic. Of course, I hope you don't have too many fires to go to. that means bad news. But this would be for structure fires, I guess, for wildfires then too, right?
Yes, structure and wildfires.
Wow. Okay. And you've done this before? Is this your first time, or?
I've done it before for Springer when I lived over there. And I didn't even have anyone in the fire department at that point in time that I knew, Well, I knew Steve, but it wasn't, relationship wise.
Okay.
My friend Steve was the one that was on the ambulance whenever my dad passed away. So.
And how big of a fire department? What fire department is this, and how big is it? What do we? It's a volunteer fire department.
Yes, it's a total volunteer.
Okay.
We have, I think there was 10 at the meeting last night.
Okay. I mean, how many trucks and stuff do you have?
So they've got two brush trucks. I think they have 2 brush trucks and 4 engines. I would have to ask him.
Okay.
Inside, but
Okay.
I think there's 2 brush trucks and 4 engines. So, plus their ATV that they have, or UTV, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
So,
of course, the big question: are they gonna let you drive one of the fire trucks, Dave?
I will ask if I can drive one to the rodeo grounds.
To a fire, but to the rodeo grounds. Okay.
To the rodeo grounds.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good for you, D. Getting engaged.
Far knew about it. I've talked about it for years. Just, I always find a reason not to.
Good. I like it. I like it a lot. What's the fire department again?
It would be the Gene Autry Fire Department.
Gene Autry Fire Department.
And the town is Gene Autry, Oklahoma.
Wow. Is that where Gene Autry's from? Is he born there?
Well, actually, either he's from I think he's from Gene Autry and lived in Doherty, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Him and his wife. There's a lot of history. One of the things I'm fixing to do is probably a history about what they called Bloody North Caddo. It dates back to the 1800s, and I keep looking to see if she's in chat, and I don't see her. It dates back to the 1800s. It's just a very, very historical part of Oklahoma where outlaws hid out. There's people who have went missing who've never been found from that, downtown, Caddo Street. She works at a bar that also does haunts and stuff, and it supposedly is haunted, like real life haunted.
Okay.
So she wants me to go and do a live from there, and I was like, okay, we can do it. We can do it.
No, D, you're gonna get caught up in all that haunted stuff.
No. Although she got a car. She'll kill me for this one. She got a car, new car to her, that has lights on the front and the back. Kind to find out it was a funeral car.
You mean it was owned by a funeral home?
Yes. I believe it was probably a family car.
Hearse, though.
No, I fear it was a family car type thing. The lead car usually is the family car.
Okay. Some people do own hearses. Buying me, that has to be like the weirdest thing ever.
I almost bought one in 2011.
Hearse.
Yes.
Was it like a station wagon?
Yes. Kind of like a station wagon. To me, they remind me more of a limo in a way.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. I almost bought one way back then. Instead, I bought a old Cadillac that I wound up having to sell because the radiator blew up in me. So,
All right, so you're going to be a fireman. We're going to call her firefighter D. Fire D, the firefighter. Okay.
Which I also have to go through a background check for that. So, you know.
Oh, well, you're going to not become a firefighter then, D. I mean, that just ruins the vibe right there. I was like, she's going to be a firefighter. She said, "Oh, I got to get a background check." Well, oh no.
Background check don't scare me.
Okay. All right. Now, did you also tell me you're moving? Or did I misinterpret what you wrote me?
You may misinterpret it.
Because I thought you said something about moving.
Moving the day from Thursday this week to Tuesday is what I meant.
Okay. All right.
Because Thursday I have to go to the town meeting.
Right. Okay. Well, I will admit this doing the show tonight is allowing me to get a first talk in with a family for the first time on Thursday evening. So I guess it all worked out.
Well, see.
It all worked out.
And how's the car doing?
The car is getting worked on. Took it in this morning. Nothing's necessarily wrong with it, but being that I bought it used and there are several things on it I don't know when they were done the last time, I figured I'm just going to go in and get a bunch of things done on it, like changing the transmission fluid, changing the rear differential fluid, getting the coolant changed. And while I was in there, it turns out that the rear brake pads are down to almost nothing. So those are going to get changed. And they also recommended getting a new battery because the one that's in it got some corrosion and things on the terminals. So it's sitting there, and it was there all day, and there was so much to do on it. They are holding it over till tomorrow, so I'll pick it up tomorrow. The good news, though, is the garage is within walking distance of where I live. It is, I walked it this morning, dropped the car off, walked home, and the distance is a little over 4 miles. And so that's how I got my time in the treadmill done today, by actually walking the sidewalks.
Well, I mean.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't too hot out. Of course, I was out there at 8 this morning. And it was a little overcast, was a little windy, so it was a nice walk going there over the causeway, a little bridge, and back down into what they call Bel Air Beach, and then made a right up Gulf Boulevard to my place.
Well, my friend just started her job, and she was telling us that it was like a 5-block walk, and I was like, "Oh, that's not bad." She goes, "Yeah, so I could ride a bike to work." Yeah. I was like, "Yes, Tennessee Truth, you could ride a bike to work."
Right. I suppose I could have tried that. I don't know if my bike would fit in the trunk of my car, though. The bike did fit in the trunk of my Sonata, although it had to hang out and everything. You know, I couldn't like stuff it under.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do this with the Mustang.
I don't know how big the Mustang trunk would be.
It would really stick out. And so I figured I'll just walk it. But tomorrow I'm going to get, being the Trivia's tomorrow, I'm getting a member of my trivia team who lives nearby. She'll pick me up when the car is done, and then she'll take me over to pick it up, and then we'll just go right to trivia from there. So the car is getting some operations. It's in the hospital a little bit, but there's nothing really wrong with it. It's more of a facelift.
Per se.
In contrast to actual surgery, like getting your gallbladder or something taken out.
Well, I just let everyone know also there's an Amber Alert out of Tennessee for a missing little boy.
Oh. Well, let's talk about that. What are the circumstances? What's going on?
At 5:00 was the latest update. It states that Amber Alert issued for a missing 3-year-old little boy last seen
3 years old
in Clarksville, Tennessee. Just a second. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigations has issued an Amber Alert for a 3-year-old Tyler Hall, Hall, last seen in Clarksville, TBI, contact TBI with any information. That's all I can find on it.
Nothing about what happened. No interview with a parent. Nothing.
Nothing yet. It is very fresh. Like I said, it happened around 2:00 today.
3 years old. You got to believe it's some sort of parental abduction.
You would think.
Right? I mean, you have a better feel for these things than I do. You know, we don't do too many
You would
child.
think, but the thing is if it's parental, normally they put in there it's a parental. You know what I mean? Last seen with mom or with dad. You know what I mean? And this one doesn't state that.
So maybe we're looking at a little Mikey Vaughn type of situation from Idaho. Walk down the street, never to be seen.
Yep. Or a Summer Wells situation.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, did you look at what I sent to you over Rose Blah?
I didn't. I don't think I did, D.
Okay, I sent you a little article. Did you know that she's on the FBI's Most Wanted?
Wait, I did see you say I didn't click on it, but I did see it. Wait a minute. She's on the FBI's most wanted or most important cases. How I mean, how could she get on most wanted? Did she commit a crime?
Well, yeah, kind of. She would, her and her husband, ex-husband, because he did file for the divorce after she went missing. Her and him had gotten into a fight, and he had pressed charges against her. So it kind of makes me go
to get on the FBI's most wanted. It must be slow days at the FBI.
Well, I guess because, she never made it to court. You don't go to court and it's a, assault charge.
I thought that like terrorists and serial killers and things like that are the guys or people that I'm guessing there's been at least one woman on the FBI's most wanted over the years, but that doesn't seem to be, that just sounds like a domestic thing.
You would think.
How would that be different than any other domestic? Now I'm going to have to click on this. Now that you've told me about it, now my interest is piqued.
No, you have to go and look.
Let's see here. All right, I'm clicking.
Unless me and T are looking at it wrong.
All right, what is this? Well, FBI.gov//wanted. Most wanted. Yeah, this is from August 21st of 2009.
Yeah, from close to whenever she went missing.
Submit a tip if you have any information concerning this person. Contact your local FBI office or the nearest American embassy or consulate.
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't know Wisconsin was in a different country, D.
Well, what if, I guess what they're thinking is she might have went to a different country. Think about it.
Let me click on this.
Yeah, I know. Whenever T sent me that yesterday, my chin did the same thing your mouth was doing. I was like, do what? It makes me really think more about that, the horse and everything that we read about,
Well, I was last seen, I know we've gone over this before, but I was last seen leaving her residence in St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin, en route to Cushing, Wisconsin, a distance of 5 miles. Her car was recovered 5 days later. In Grantsburg, Wisconsin, in a parking lot typically used by truck drivers to park their tractor trailers. This parking lot is approximately 30 miles from her residence. Yeah, I don't get that at all. What does VICAP stand for?
I don't know.
VICAP. Boy, that is wild.
But, it makes me go more into what me and you were talking about prior.
What were we talking about, Dee? Tell me.
Whenever it came to her case, because one of the articles I found back whenever me and you were talking about her case was that she had fallen off of a horse, or the horse kicked her in the head. We talked about, if she was ever found and she was found alive, what her excuses could be to why she didn't go back home.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, well, she could claim memory loss. Couldn't remember how to get there, type thing. But I was looking at VICAP.
So I see here, I'm on this site, and it says, they have the 10 most wanted fugitives, 10 most wanted terrorists, top 10 crimes against children, violent crimes, murders, kidnappings, and missing persons. And VICAP. Here's VICAP. Let's see what VICAP.
VICAP stands for violent crimes, violent criminal. Program, It's a.
Looking at this list, certainly there are more than 10 on there, Dee. VICAP missing persons. Violent criminal apprehension program. So they consider to be a violent criminal. Okay.
So, it really, really, really takes the shape of what me and you have discussed in the past about the case. And leads me down to, she went missing on purpose.
I will have to take a look at that again. Maybe this is a disappearance that is worthy of a analysis during the live show.
Mm-hmm.
Because I certainly haven't done that yet. Wow, that is, it says they're most wanted Rosemary Bly, but we should say there are people on that site that aren't criminals. So I don't think we should get too crazy about thinking they're after her because she's a criminal. So.
Yeah.
All right. Now that I see it, Dee.
Now you're like, maybe we should have been covering this one this time around.
I didn't read it. Not sure what to think. Think about it. Maybe I will be able to do something next Monday for the live show.
Yeah.
And try to do something that...
Which could be the reason why Candace is so scared to talk about it and was told by her family not to talk about it. You know what I mean? Publicly, because she could go to jail. Well, it's not Candace they're protecting.
She's not going to jail.
But you know what I mean? It's not Candace they're protecting. They're protecting Rose.
She's not going to jail. You can talk about a case or whatever, not going to jail. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I don't either, but that's what her mom told her. So that's what Candace goes with, Okay. Unfortunately, she's been told by several people she can't do this, she can't do that. And it's like, if we don't let her talk at some point, she's going to snap.
I don't know. I don't know, Dee. I will have to. I'll try to educate myself on it a little more, even though I know we've talked about it before. But that piques my interest again. Okay. What else is going on? Any other recent cases catching your attention? Anything you've been following?
I'm trying to think, other than the Nancy Guthrie, if there was anything else that has been going on other than this little boy. Like I said, I found out because my friend T and Candace about the little boy missing in Clarksville. And then
Last train to Clarksville, meet you at the station.
Everyone, shh, Ed's gonna sing for us. It's a rare occasion.
I'm not gonna sing. Near Clarksville, that's I think that's the Monkees, right?
I don't know.
I think it is the Monkees. I think.
What case would that be, Chris, that's caught your attention? So our first case that I sent to you, Ed, I went down rabbit hole. Then
Well, I'm glad you made it back, D.
Then I sent Chris down the rabbit hole for me.
Yeah, when you went down that rabbit hole, and you're not even dirty. Maybe you took a shower before we did this show.
Well,
did you catch the rabbit?
Not yet.
Okay. All right. Well, tell me about it. What'd you do on the? What did you do going down the rabbit hole?
I discussed with Chris. Could there be a possibility with that case of serial killers in that area at that time?
Okay.
Because there is, I think, 2 other cases around the same time period that she went missing within 1 or 2 years.
And which, just so we're on the right name, D, you said the first one you sent me. Which one was that?
Give me one moment. Where's my message?
So everybody knows who we're talking about here.
I have to go back to my messages.
They're talking in pronouns. Who is he talking about?
Can anyone take a guess? Carol Edwards, Kings County, Washington. That one.
All right, go ahead, continue, D, so I can pull
If there could be a serial killer in that area, and he was, hang on, what did Chris say? I asked him, I was like, I listened to the interviews, news interviews the families had done over the time period. And my first thought was serial killer. I don't know why, but that was where I went. So when we talk about it, keep that in mind, that there are others that went missing in her area.
Let's take a look at that. I'm going to look at NamUs right now. And it was last thing, a TV guide. Right. She probably arrived to her apartment. She probably did arrive there as her coat and keys were later found there. She's not heard from again. She wasn't leading a high-risk lifestyle. Is her car missing or is it not? Did she have a car?
Her boyfriend at the time was using the car.
She normally took the bus to and from work. Foul play is suspected, so maybe we might think that she gets off at the bus stop, somebody follows her home.
Well, that could be a possibility, yeah.
Okay, so let me take a look at comparable cases. Let's break this down a wee bit more. Kings County, Seattle, King County. All right, King County. Let's see what we have going on. Everybody bear with me as I do the dates and narrow this all down and everything.
She was on the Charlie Project.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. Let's just go back to 1979. We'll take it up to the end of 83. And let's see if we can determine anything. State would be Washington,
Washington.
some people say. And then King. 19, so January 1st to 79 to the end. So 79, 80, 81, 82, 83. 5 years. We have 19 missing people, according to NamUs, which probably puts this on the low end. And Carol's is really... And none of these are in 1979. So really, this list doesn't start till 1980. And if we're thinking serial killer, I mean, usually stick to one gender. She was in 81. The next female is January 1st of 82. So almost exactly a year later.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, look at that. Maybe that's just a dating thing or a report thing. But, is that a coincidence or not? Exactly a year later. Louise Sanders. Last, never heard from again. Family very scattered and most are deceased. I don't know what to make of that. No. The circumstances are not very are not descriptive at all. So we got the next one. 13-year-old girl. I don't know if I should include that in here or not. Next one is a Robin Bull, Bull. Let's see what this Robin Joyce Bull. Recently moved from California. She left the home of her mother, Seattle. And did not return. Vehicles found in the city of Issaquah. The search of the area was negative. So, not sure what to make of that. All right. Then we got another female, once again in 82, Areba Stewart. 48 years old, reported missing by her sister, but not until 1988. But she had no contact her since 82. Husband felt that she had left him and moved to Canada. Probably her husband killed her. Yep. So that's not that we're that judgmental here. But then, wow. I got to say, in 1982, something kicked in because the last 6 of these from, let's just say August of 82 until the end of 83, all females, let me just read off the ages, 16, 19, 18, 15, 19, 26. Now, certainly I could believe that's a serial killer. But it is like it starts a year and a half after Carol went missing.
Well, could it be he enjoyed it and just didn't find a chance?
So whenever anybody wants to hypothesize, is fine with me. I guess what I'm saying here is that there's not a cluster right around her date. But, in fact, there's nothing in 1979. There's no documented missing persons in King County in 79 at all. I'm not saying that's true. There's just none on NamUs. And so, it's her, 25 years old. Let's just take a look randomly at one of these other ones toward the end of this time period to see what we think. Let's just look at the 26-year-old Tanya Clemens. Let's see if it's similar to Carol's at all. No, circumstances don't really say anything. Patricia Osborne. Let's see here. She left her motel room and never returned. That sounds like drugs to me. Patricia LeBlanc. Patricia ran away from a group outing at the Seattle Center in 83. She was originally reported as a runaway. Case assumed by Green River Task Force. Of course, we know what that is. She was a prostitute. So to me, doesn't sound like Carol. Carol had a job and was, taking the bus and everything. No suspicious circumstances with Carol or risky lifestyle, I should say. Kelly McGinnis, man, that name sounds familiar. Did I look at this one before? Kelly checked into the Three Rivers Motel, Des Moines, Washington, left some personal items in the room, never returned. This sounds like prostitution to me. Linda Jackson. Let's see here. It was not reported missing by any known associate. Missing person's family confirmed no contact in over 10 years. So who knows when she went missing? Although they have a really nice picture of her here. So you can't deduce anything from that. And then Casey Lee, K-A-S-E. Her law enforcement left to go to the store, never returned. So I don't know what to say, D. These are not the most descriptive circumstances I've ever read on NamUs. So certainly not. I mean, maybe on the Charlie Project there's more, but it's tough to go through Charlie Project that quick.
Yeah.
This would have to be a little bit of project of mine to really make a determination. But I could certainly believe, being that those 6 women between August 28th of 82 and November 5th of 83, let's just say it's a year and 4 months, that, for 6 women to go missing, all in the same county, around the same age, it does seem at least some of them were into prostitution, sure. But we also might think, was this the work of Gary Ridgway? As it states in one of them, the one woman was included in the Green River Task Force. So maybe we are looking at the work of Gary Ridgway and they've just never been connected to him. Maybe.
That's the reason why I went, I don't know with this one. After listening to the to the news articles and stuff, I was like, So I immediately called Chris and said, Chris, do you feel like doing some research? You're my serial killer guy. Do you feel like doing some research?
So, if we wanted to look at a different way, but like I said, serial killers usually stick to one gender. Yep. Although the original Night Stalker, of course, killed both men and women, couples. We have these other guys. We have a Vincent Gartner, 23, Gary Wheeler, 36. Then we have Carol Edwards, 25. Then we have a Marty Small, 47. Benjamin Bullitt, yes, like Bullitt, like the movie. 24. I don't know. Hard. You can't tell a serial killer, in my opinion, from what's written here. Not trying to be negative. But as far as Carol Edwards goes, what does it say? Like, as she worked at her, could have been meeting some guy. Some guy came over. Something happened. Somebody could have followed her from the bus stop. It's just not obvious. Would have to certainly know more about where she lived and, what was exactly going on in her life with relationships and things. Would certainly need to know more about her.
Like I said, it just, and then I, also saw she left her jacket laying in the garage floor is where they found her coat. And I was like, ooh.
That wasn't in anything that I read, D. Maybe I'd have to go back and look at some newspaper.com articles to be sure. So but 25. Yeah, easy to believe that she was abducted for some reason. Do I keep hearing like explosions or something, D?
I don't.
No, through your phone or something like
No.
weird? Okay. That's weird. Okay. Is that thunder?
On your end, I don't know.
No, that is weird. I'm hearing something. You don't hear that?
No.
It's like going. Yeah, it's like I hear music or something. Is that going on? I think it's coming out I don't think it's here. That's so weird. It's like I hear music. Let me put you on mute here for a second. And can I do that? Let me see. Yeah, you must be playing music or something in the background.
I don't have. Oh, hold up. I wonder.
Because I just put myself on mute and I was like, well, it's quiet now.
Is that better?
I mean, I didn't really bother me. I was just like, where's it coming from? What is going on here? Because remember, just 2 days ago, we had a riot just north of me on Clearwater Beach where somebody got shot and everything.
Oh, no.
So I heard, it's like, is that an explosion? What is that?
Do I need to take cover?
Right. Do I need to go get my AR? I do have one. So what was that? Did you have something playing on your phone?
I had playing in the background or playing earlier whenever I started. It's called Ancestors' Last Breath. It's native with the native flute, and there's thunder and stuff in it. And when you said thunder, I wasn't thinking about it. And then I went, oh, I know what it is.
Wait, my ears are good. Okay. Yeah. It didn't, now that I know what it is, it's like, okay, whatever. But I heard it early on when we started. And then of course we got talking for a while. And just when we took that lull, I was like, oh, it's still there. Okay. What else do you want to discuss here, D?
Well, then we got, what was it? I sent you the Brock Candy Factory lady because I thought hers was an interesting case.
Yeah. No, she is the one where she got taken somewhere, right? That's the one where she went to some other city to do some shopping or something. And then let me just make sure. Now, like I said, I've analyzed this on a prior live show, maybe not even this year. Yeah. Well, maybe I did. Yeah, I did look at it right after Nancy Guthrie went missing. This is one of the ones I picked out. Yeah. So this would have been in February.
Oh.
Right. She went, I'm reading it here. She had a checkup appointment at the Mayo Clinic. Did she have cancer or something? And
I would assume.
The doctors there found nothing wrong with her, save that she was overweight. After paying her bill, Helen began walking back to her hotel. She stopped at a gift shop, purchased some bathhouse and cosmetics, telling the clerk she was in a hurry because her houseman was waiting. Investigators are not sure what Helen meant. She was traveling alone and no one was seen with her. Helen did have a houseman named Jack Matlick. A photo of Matlick is posted with this case summary. He helped run Helen's house after her husband died. Her husband had been the owner of E.J. Brock & Sons, was one of the world's wealthiest candy producers. He met Helen, a native of Ohio, when she was working as a coat check girl in Florida. They lived in Chicago. Matlick claims he met Helen at the O'Hare Airport when she came back. But the plane crew could not remember anyone matching her description on the flight that day. They were not interviewed until a significant period of time had passed. Matlick says he picked Helen up and drove her back to her home. That weekend, Matlick called his wife and said he would be staying at the Matlick place because he had work to do. This was uncharacteristic of him. He normally lived apart from Helen in a house she owned in Schaumburg, Illinois. Matlick told police later that Helen had stayed in Glenview that weekend preparing for her upcoming trip, but friends who dropped by to visit her were told she was unavailable. Helen did not call anyone, and Matlick said he drove Helen to O'Hare at 7 a.m. on Monday without much luggage or flight reservation. Helen normally traveled lots of luggage. She also was a late riser, would not normally fly out so early in the morning. There's no record of Helen flying out that day. Matlick did look like Matlick took some of her money. So, I mean, this has to be one of the Charlie Project's longest cases. And I think there was something going on here with, something that she got involved in, like with horses.
Yes.
There was this guy, Bailey, had introduced Helen to the horse business. Her accountant estimated she had spent $250,000, and that would have been in 1977 money. So that would be like, I don't know, $1.5 million today on horses. And Bailey and his brother had sold Helen some horses for much more than they were worth. And, was that part of this? It's just, there's so much here, D.
To unpack.
I think I will tell you, I will just try to remember what, the notes that I took and what I continue to think about this disappearance is I've convinced myself that this Matlick guy actually did go with her up there. I mean, why else would she say that her house guy was waiting for her? While she's up there far away, why would she say that? It's hard to understand. And being that nobody on the plane remembered her, and dare I say, she does seem like the type of person that people would remember. Older woman, well off, probably looks like she's accustomed to a certain kind of lifestyle. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Those people, men or women, typically tend to stand out. And being that nobody remembered her tells me something. So I think what I decided, whether it might have something to do with the horse business, with Matlick involved in that somehow connection, or I don't know. But I think he drove her. I think I determined they could have easily driven from where she lived to the Mayo Clinic. And being that she did say that somebody was waiting for her, and then he did something to her on the drive. And then he comes back and says, yeah, she was on a plane. I picked her up, yada, 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 So I think, I don't know, this is circumstantial. You have to make some logical leaps in there. But if she said, it just doesn't seem likely to me that she would be talking about how, she was in a hurry because her houseman was waiting. When to Matlick, that means he's still way back in Chicago or whatever. That seems unlikely to me. What seems more likely is that he was with her there, drove her there, and something happened on the trip, and then he labored to cover it up. Maybe having to do because maybe she found out somehow that he was taking her money, or it had something to do with horses or whatever else.
Well, I do know that the horse guy went to jail. The ones who sold her the horses.
Yeah, he was a con man, yes.
Him and his brother, but later were released down in Florida.
Okay. There was actually a Law and Order episode that is kind of like this regarding the horse business, and somebody's murdered, and there was fraud going on in the horse business, something like that. There was a Law and Order episode. Whether it was actually based on this, I don't know. But every time I read about her disappearance, I think of this one Law and Order episode. It was one of the ones from the 1990s. But but if we do want to compare it to Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, I have to say, it seems to me that what happened to Helen Brock is much more obvious than what happened to Nancy Guthrie.
Yeah.
I think my impression, of course, we're going back to the 1970s. My impression is a lot of this became obvious fairly quickly. You know, the Matlick guy, telling these stories and no facts to back them up, and tracking down pilots and flight attendants, and they can't remember. And, it seemed to me that that's what I would call a falling apart of a story, even though nobody's ever been charged with anything. Whereas with Nancy Guthrie, at least as far as I can tell, nobody's story has fallen apart. Whether it has to do with some neighbor or with, the son-in-law and all that stuff that's gone on, it doesn't seem to me that anybody's story has fallen apart.
I agree.
And what I would also say is that, with Helen Brock, if it did have something to do with money or horses or something, it became obvious fairly quickly. With
Guthrie,
we got nothing. I'm not saying they haven't determined something. Maybe they have, and they just don't want to release it to the public. But there's nothing that I've heard along the lines of, well, Nancy Guthrie invested in something, that ended up being a sham, and she was trying to get her money back or something, and now she's missing. I haven't heard anything like that.
I haven't either, but I mean, I'm open to anything on this case. I'm still thinking, though, it's someone who lives in that neighborhood. Hence why they don't want the YouTubers in that neighborhood.
Well, they may not want the YouTubers in that neighborhood for many reasons. But for the simple fact that they're YouTubers, no offense to anybody out there, but I think you know what I mean. The opportunists,
Yes.
The opportunists, and who knows what crazy stuff they're going to do anything to get attention for their channel and all that stuff. Are they going to start crawling through backyards and, running naked down the street? Who the heck knows? People do anything for attention. So maybe it's that. Maybe it has nothing to do with any really investigation. They're just worried that, some YouTuber is going to be down there and make a spectacle of it, shooting off fireworks. So.
Well, I reached also out to Vinnie Politan and gave him your name and told him that you were good at analyzing missing persons cases and he should contact you.
And you will have to tell me who Vinnie is.
Vinnie Politan is from Court TV.
And do you often contact him? Have you ever?
I did back during, matter of fact, what was the baby boy's name down in Georgia? Quentin Simon's case. He interviewed Dolly Vision from YouTube. I contacted him immediately and told him he interviewed a YouTube grifter. So yeah, I do. And it was shortly after that he took down the interview. Like, it came down quick.
All right. Well, if he contacts me, I'll let you know. That would be something.
I was like, he's good at analyzing cases. You might contact him.
I am good at analyzing cases, Dee. Funny you should mention that. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that. If you contact me, I'll let you know. There it is. We almost made it, Dee. We almost made the hour without a train.
Almost.
Guy must have been at home and figured out we changed the day and ran to the train and started it up and came down the tracks. Unbelievable.
And he's the one that will sit there and blow the horn at every crossing. And I know they're supposed to, but I mean, do we have to do it so much?
You don't have to blow the horn, man. What somebody's walking along the tracks in their headphones, and they're not going to hear that. And then of course these trains, they take like 3 miles to stop.
Yep.
Not going to happen.
And I usually get in trouble with Bar if I don't, if I mute. Unfortunately, she loves the sound of our trains.
I don't mind the sound of trains. I think if I lived as close as you did to one, yeah, that would get a little old. But, growing up in Pennsylvania, was there a railroad track? Not really that close, but it was down by the river, which is a little far away. But, when I was actually in Leechburg, train would go by once in a while. That wasn't unusual. But not as often as we're talking here.
No, I think Oklahoma is a main thoroughfare for the trains. It doesn't matter where they're going, they have to come through this area.
You're right smack in the middle of the United
Just like I-35 and I-40.
Yeah.
I mean, simple truth. I actually, during the fish fry, I talked to the DA and gave some suggestions because he's wanting to crack down on some of these children's cases. And I'm like, sir, if you're going to start somewhere, let's start at the top. Let's start nationwide cracking down on them.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you're just one state and one jurisdiction or whatever, you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Well, my thing is like, I have showed the sheriff's department the flyers of Summer Wells, and none of them have ever seen that flyer. Just like with Sebastian Rogers, none of them had ever seen the flyer. Our local and sheriff's department. So, something's got to be done because, as I said, I live in a main thoroughfare. I got I-35 that runs through my town, literally, and then you have I-40 and I-35 up in Oklahoma City. If those flyers aren't reaching Oklahoma, what if?
No.
And I hate having that optimist opinion. Yes, I have an open opinion. Yeah, Chris, you're right.
Okay.
So.
I'm wondering, of course, as you know, Dee, we've featured a few disappearances regarding fires. Dorian Myers, and others. I'll just leave it at that. And being back to assisting and working with the fire department and everything. I'll see if you get any knowledge in that area. Of course, I'm hoping you never have to go to a fire where anybody dies.
Well, I was hoping the assistant chief wife was going to come in like she said she would, because I would have offered her a link. She's the one that conned me into, doing this with her.
Recruited you.
Yeah.
You got recruited. You're in the firefighter cult now, Dave. But I'm happy for you.
Hey, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. It's something new. And Mike Gold keeps trying to talk me into moving. Now he's ready to move.
Oh, now we're talking about actually moving.
Yeah, now he's actually talking about, how about Louisiana? Okay. First question he asked me is, how do you feel like about moving to Hawaii? I looked at him and I said, when are we going? He goes, well, how about Houston, Texas? I looked at him. I was like, when are we going?
Yeah.
He goes, well, how about Louisiana? I looked at him. I was like, when are we going?
You're not picking up what I'm putting down there.
And then he said something about Colorado. And I looked at him. I was like, no, I'm good.
You can't decide. Usually when people say, let's move to Hawaii, usually the next follow-up is, well, let's move to Louisiana instead. I don't know if anybody's saying, you know what, I want to move from my hometown, and I'm either going to go to Louisiana or I'm going to go to Hawaii.
Well, it's because they're really, really in bad need in Hawaii for EMTs. So
I didn't know that. Okay.
Go to where the work is. in the field that he's in. And then, my degree, I can work anywhere as a counselor,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm deciding to go ahead and venture back out into.
I've been to Hawaii once, April 1995, and it was okay. I don't know if I want to live there. You're on an island. It's fairly restrictive. You kind of feel a little. At least I did. I could see myself getting cabin fever on that there. If you want to go anywhere, you got to fly. Not that you'd want to leave necessarily. It is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but nice place to visit. I don't know if I want to live there, but he's who am I to talk? So. But if you go to Hawaii, that'll mean we're separated by 5 or 6 hours, D. Man, it's going to be tough to line up these shows.
We'll just keep them the same as they are now, 7 o'clock Central Time and
okay,
8 o'clock.
Whatever that time would be in Hawaii.
Well, I know Arizona. Does Hawaii do time change like the rest of us, or no?
I think they do, yeah. Maybe not. I'll have to think about that. But it's way out there. Hawaii is way out there. I think it's usually 5 hours difference between Eastern Time and Hawaii. I think.
Well, right now, I'm trying to think, am I 2 hours different from Tucson, or if I'm an hour's difference from Tucson? I think right now I'm 2 hours different from Tucson. So
let's see what time it is in Honolulu right now. It's 3:02, so it's 6 hours difference right now.
See, I would be able to get them done in the middle of the day.
Yeah,
and I'd have the rest of the night from
5
home.
hours difference from you.
Huh?
5 hours difference from you right now.
Yeah, I'd be good with that. Like I said.
Okay. All right, D. Well, it's been an hour. It's been fun. That's how fast it goes.
Yep.
We've covered a lot of topics tonight. Most
Yes,
importantly, we're part of the fire department now. I hope the fire department knows what it's getting into, including you. So,
well, heck, the fire chief looked at Death and asked him if I could actually do the job.
Okay.
I'm good.
I'll be interested to hear how this goes, D.
I just had to take a week off to
Yeah, I know.
balance myself after a horrible thing happened, and I was right back to it,
Yeah.
I wanted to look at Paul and go, Paul, do you not realize I was a CNA? I've had people die in my arms. It's a little bit different, though, when there's a family member. Just a little.
Okay, D.
All right, Ed, you have a fantastic rest of your night.
All right, you too.
Don't work out too hard.
I'll be seeing you online sometime.
Yeah, we'll probably catch each other Monday?
I'm sure we'll talk to each other several times before then.
Yep. I'll be looking for new cases, so.
All right.
All right, talk to you later, Ed.
Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all. And what do we want to talk about? Anything? Going once? Going twice? And what unsolved cases are we talking about, Ed? Or Ed, Chris? Well, so I got my Bishnik, and give me a second, and I wanted to read from it because it does involve the MMIP crisis. So before you guys go, after the train goes by, The cover of it says it's big, it's blue with hearts and handprints. It says, "No more stolen sisters, brothers, children, families." As federal support shifts, tribes continue efforts to address MMIP crisis. Missing and Murdered Indigenous People Awareness Month may be over, but the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma and other community efforts are raising awareness. Families across the country still search for answers as tribes and advocates address the MMIP crisis. May 5th is observed as the National Day of Awareness for Missing and Murdered Indigenous People, drawing attention to an issue that has long been issue that has long been unfixable. In recent years, the U.S. government has issued efforts to address the gaps in the MMIP data. During President Donald Trump's first term, he signed a 2019 something during May 5th as MMIP national signed in legislation May 5th as being the MMIP National Day of Awareness. He also signed Executive Order 13898, known as Lady Justice, as well as Not Invisible Act and Savannah Act into law. All of which were aimed to address the MMIP. Those legislation efforts and federal council during the President Joe Biden administration. However, the Trump administration approach seemingly shifted the start of his second term. In March of 2005, the key MMIP reported was removed from federal websites as part of effort to eliminate division and equality in these cases. The Not One More reported continued under the Not Visible Act, widely regarded as a major effort to address systematic changes surrounding the MMIPs in the United States. The act, signed into law during Trump's first term, was the first United States bill introduced and passed by 4 members of Congress enrolled in the federal recognition of tribes. Over a year later, a website about the act remains, but the November of 2023 report is gone. A notice saying the Anyway, this is interesting. There's a lot going on with the MMIP cases through the Choctaw Nation. Y'all, I see everyone's falling off. Good night. Love you all. Bye. Till next time. Go here before I exit. in the stream. Hang on, before I end it. Let me go here. Go there. Go there. Go here.